Second grade scholars, welcome back to our last lesson of the week. It is Friday, May 15th, and today we're actually talking about a third grade teacher, Miss Page, who has these wonderful pencils, and she has 100 of them, and she's trying to put them into 9 baskets. So I picked out this picture with these baskets. I know it's a little blurry, but this is the best one I can find of these. And your question today is, Miss Page has 100 pencils. She puts the pencils into 9 boxes with the same number of pencils in each box. How many pencils were in each box? So she's trying to separate them into 9 boxes for her 9 tables probably, and she wants to put the same number in each box so that it's very fair for the scholars. So you're going to reread this, and we're going to do our retelling. So right now, if you need a time to reread it, pause it right now, reread it, and I'm going to cover it up in about 3 seconds. Just make sure you know it doesn't need to sound exactly the same with all the words, but it still needs to tell the correct story. So I'm going to cover it now, and you can pause to retell. Alright, once you're done with that, we're going to head on and go and focus on this part. So make sure you have CGI page 34. This is actually the last CGI page of this first packet, and I need to actually go get my second packet, but I want to make sure that you're on the right packet and you have it out right now, because we're always using that to underline, circle, and box right now together. So I'm going to read it, you're going to reread it, and then we're going to go into cubes. Miss Page has 100 pencils. She put the pencils into 9 boxes with the same number of pencils in each box. How many pencils were in each box? So right now, pause it to reread. Alright, so we're going to go right into our first part of cubes, and we're thinking about the numbers and the units. So I already see right here in my first part that it says Miss Page has 100 pencils. So I'm going to circle that. So for this unit, it's pencils, but my next unit is actually 9 boxes. So yesterday I talked about this, where what do you do when you have 2 different units, which is, what does that 9 mean? That 9 is for 9 boxes, not 9 pencils. Yesterday, we actually had to technically divide them and put them into different parts. So that's kind of what we have to do today as well. And the next part is underlining the question. I actually have it separated right on the bottom for you, so it's easier to underline of how many pencils were in each box. So I'm going to go and underline that right now. And our last portion of boxing the math action words. What are they asking you to do, and how are you going to find this out? This first one doesn't really have anything. Miss Page has 100 pencils. That's just fact. She has it. That's good to know. She puts the pencils into 9 boxes with the same number of pencils in each box. This is the part. Same number. So I actually wanted to box both of them. So you need the same number of pencils in each box. So those are our parts that we needed to do. And I actually have it right here. Again, I'm doing it, you're doing it. So that's why I'm showing you of I did this. This is what yours should look like. And we're going to do our more and less than question right now. So do you think there are going to be more than 100 pencils in each box, or less than 100 pencils in each box? And you need to think about that. So right now I'm going to pause, and I want you to tell me why. Alright, great job, and let's really quickly go over it before I send you off to work. It was 100 pencils and 9 boxes. 2 different units is telling you to do something, and I want you to think about yesterday as well. The question was how many pencils were in each box, and they're also asking you to put the same number of pencils in each box. So make sure you're thinking about that. So right now, think of this in your hand. Think of 100 pencils in your hand. It's not even enough to fit in your hand. That's a lot of pencils, so you probably need both your hands. You have 9 boxes in front of you. How are you going to split that up? Think about what you did with the pepperonis yesterday. So how are you going to show me that with your work? Well, make sure you have the correct page, and make sure you are finishing the correct portions before you move on. This whole page should be all done before you watch my video of what to do after this. This is already done. Make sure your name, college, and date is all written. So right now, if you need to pause and do that right now, do it. That's the first thing you should do on that page. You should have your first way, and if you can do a vertical way. Do that. Even if you line up all your numbers, even if you have more than two numbers in a row, to add them together or to subtract them, that is still a vertical way. Make sure you have a number sentence and a word sentence. You can always go back to yesterday's work to look at what your number sentence or your word sentence looked like. If you got it incorrect, I already gave you the answer at the end. So look at what that looks like. Then when you're done with that, you can scoot over to this page and then watch my videos. If you have a way that you like, you can put that here. And then you need to choose one of these three ways to show me and tell me how you are going to tell a teacher so that they can draw it and write it for you on the board. All right, I'll see you in a little bit with your work. Good luck.
In this one, Miss Page has 100 new pencils, and she's putting them into 9 boxes. And we're trying to figure out how many each of the kids would need if she only put them into 9 boxes. So we need to be fair and make sure that everyone's getting the same amount. In order to do this, I'm going to draw 9 boxes. So there are my 9 boxes, and now with this, I'm going to put in my 100 pencils. This is already gonna take a while in my head, so let's think this through. Alright, so if I have 100, what if I were to put 10 pencils in each box in the beginning? Let's think about that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. We can do that. If that was too much for you, maybe start off with 5 pencils in each box. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. As long as it's less than 100 pencils, you can kind of give them out. But make sure you're thinking about that while you're trying to plan this out. And I don't want to start with ones because that's a lot of sticks that we're going to have to draw. So I'm thinking maybe we should start out with 10, because if it's 9 boxes, if you have 10 in each box, that would be 90. So I'm actually just going to draw, I don't know if you remember these. These are the, what were these called? The counting chips, or the disc, the place value discs. They were white and red and orange depending on which one. So I put a 10 chip in each one. And then now I'm thinking, okay, so I had 100. Now I took away a 90. Now I only have 10 pencils left. If I have 10 pencils left and 9 boxes, I could put one in each box now. But then I would have 1 pencil left over. I only have 9 boxes. So you need to make sure that you're telling us that you have 1 left over. So right here in each box you would have 11 pencils in each box. And 1 left over. You could do it the way where you would draw the boxes out and put 1 in each box, but I think this would take a little too long and your hands would get very tired. So if you were to do that and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you would get awfully tired. So I'm suggesting you think of a way to do something like this so that it would actually help you much more. And I think that's the only way I can think of this happening today.
Alright, now that you did that, this is actually my final part. And I want to tell you that you should have 1 pencil left over. So you actually put 11 into each box. So you can see right here that there's 9. And it's 11 in each of these boxes, but you have 1 pencil left over. Maybe that's for Miss Page. So I wrote, there are 9 pencils in each box and 1 pencil left over. Great job today, and I will see you next week.